Ah, is this me? I can't tell.
Hey! Hey Sam! Hey, what's up? The Devil Wears Prada put out a new EP about space. It's called Space. It's their second EP. You can say it's second to the Zombie EP, which was really fucking rad. And Devil Wears Prada haven't put new music out since 8/18 in 2013, but they had this new music now.
Isn't that the third EP? I thought they had one before their first album. I might be wrong.
You know more than me.
I don't really know. It's just usually how it happens. They put out an EP.
Yeah.
So second, third, close enough. We're in the ballpark.
We're close. It's number 2 or 3 or whatever the fuck number we're on.
In the theater.
Yeah. What did you think of this?
I
said that weird.
Yeah. I thought the music was okay. Not much better than. I don't want to say it was. I guess I could say it was good. Because I go by like a scale on words. You know, when you say something is okay, it's pretty like even, then good, and then great. I would say it's maybe barely okay at best. The music, the lyrics, and like the concept of this album, I don't really get, because the first song, maybe it's just a bunch of different things, but I felt like the Zombie EP, the songs related somewhat to like an overall thing, yeah. Whereas Space, I guess, is like everything, but I just felt that it was, I didn't really know, because the first song they're talking about someone that wants to be an astronaut, and the second song they're talking about an alien that's like super vicious or something. I'm like, okay, it doesn't really tie in anywhere. And then the last song's about Earth blowing up, and on the way to get there, I'm just like, I don't know, apparently Earth is just blowing up or something. I don't know, I thought it would have been better. It's kind of unfair to, you know, compare any concept album to Parallax 2, because that's the most amazing concept album that there's ever been. Like, the story behind that is like a story, and there's dialogue and stuff, and they went through the ins and outs and, you know, ups and downs and left and right in every direction with that. But as far as like a concept goes, I mean, maybe it's like a theme, but space is, everything is in space, you know? Everything is in space. So space is like, as a theme, it's just everything. But I don't know. I thought it could have been more condensed. Like, actually have a concept, like, okay, we're going to tell a story or something. I just felt like they were here and then we're there, and I didn't like that. It you know, little things here and there can really affect my ability to like something. Sometimes it could be just such a small thing, and with this, I feel like the smallest thing in the world, but just something that I'm like, it affects my ability to listen to it and say, and just really, you know, enjoy it more, I think. So that kind of stuck out to me, and it made it a bit rigid. It's very experimental. Some ways good, some ways not so good. But I don't know. It was just okay, honestly. I mean, that's my review. Seriously, you know, to go into it, I would say this and that, but honestly, it's just okay. I mean, it's an EP, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's just really just the most okay thing. You know, that's really all I have to say about it. I mean, you know, I would just be, you know, summing up the okayness of it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I listened to this multiple times, and every time it was like, let's do it, listen to it, and then it was over, and then I was like, that was okay. That's about it. It just kind of, I found this whole thing just kind of faded to the background a little bit every time I listened to it. It was hard for me to really stay super focused on it. But there were moments musically, like guitar-wise and everything, that I felt really stood out. And, the Devil Wears Prada, they can, I feel when they put something together, it's really strong. When they put it together and they have it, firing on all cylinders. And, there's moments on here where they do. I think where a lot of the experimentation comes, in my opinion, is in the vocal department between fucking Mike Haranica and Woody DePoister. Jeremy. Woody. I knew his last name. I forgot his first name.
Woody.
Some things, like Sam said, some work and some do not. I felt like lyrically sometimes it was very just strange, and the way they said certain things was just very strange, and I felt just did not work out. I can't, overall, this whole thing to me comes off as a slightly forgettable, in my opinion. I can't really tell you, Planet A or Supernova is going to be one of the best Devil Wears Prada songs, and they're going to play it at every live show they ever have the rest of their career. And I just don't think that's going to happen. As 818, Zombie EP, Dead Throne, they all had very memorable songs from the start, and I just feel that this does not, because it's experimental, and it's an EP. It's short. They're just trying new things, and that's cool. It's cool that the Devil Wears Prada is not. They're not a band that stick with one style or one way of doing things, and then they just keep fucking doing that. They always evolve and try new things, and that's cool. And this is just another case of them doing so. I just think when you compare the Zombie EP to this EP, it's kind of like, I don't know, a little disappointing, because Zombie EP was really good. I don't know. It was okay. It is okay. If you put it on, jam it, that's cool. If you don't, I don't really think you're going to be missing a whole lot here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That riff in Supernova, the first riff in Supernova, that's all right.
Yeah.
But I don't really get any memorable riffs or breakdown parts or the only two parts that are stick out that are memorable to me are the Supernova riff, which is not bad, but it's, see, I'm not sure if Chris, before he left the band, wrote any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he did, he left on a very low note if he wrote this stuff.
Yeah. Because
it's just, there's experimental, you're doing different stuff, but then there's an experimental, I felt like they weren't really, they were just experimenting with their sound, but it wasn't anything wow, that's really cool. It was just kind of simple stuff, I felt. Their breakdowns weren't crushing like they've been before, and yeah, so I don't know if Chris wrote anything on this, but, if he did, I'm a little disappointed. I don't think he did, because it just doesn't sound like stuff that he would write. But
I felt the production of this just didn't hit as hard as past Devil Wears Prada material, where when they do have a part that is heavy, it just didn't hit you as hard as some of their past stuff.
If this was a full album, I would say it's bad, but because it's an EP, it kind of gets off there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm curious, because are you still a massive Devil Wears Prada fan? Do you listen to
them?
Not really.
I don't really listen to a lot of metal anymore, really. More into rock and stuff. But this is a band I listen to occasionally. Not as much as I used to. I used to be a pretty big fan of this band, and then I still like their stuff from Dead Throne and 818. I mean, and the Zombie EP. They have some really good stuff, but anymore I'm not too in tune with them. They had that one jam they put out. It was just one song earlier this year. South something. South of the City might be it. Yeah, they put out the South Pole featuring Santa Claus. No, he lives at the North Pole, whatever. Santa Claus comes out and does guest vocals. But no, that song was okay. But it was better than what was on here. But yeah, I still listen to them here and there, but they're not really that go-to anymore.
Yeah,
I hope their next album, they go back to like, I don't know, if they do something experimental, I hope it's more experimental.
Yeah.
This was just kind of like a little bit, it's kind of like, you know, I can't use that analogy. I don't want to use that analogy. But it's like, you're halfway through the door, it's going to shut on you, it's going to hurt, so either you have to go through or you have to stay where you are, because, you know, you're in the doorway, the door closes, it's going to hit you, and it's going to hurt. And then you have an EP, it's not that great.
There you go.
Yeah. So I felt like they need to go through the door frame, through the doorway, or kind of, which is what they usually do. They're about like 2 or 3 doors in now. It's just a series of doors.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sam always full of fucking analogies.
I really am. You know what? I'm not even gonna deny it. I really am. Yeah. They work. They're stupid, but they work.
Appreciate it. What was the score, I guess?
If it's an EP, I'm not gonna grade it out of 10. I'm gonna give it out of 5 because it's almost like half an album.
Yeah.
It's like a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah. 3 out of 5, I'd give it. Which equates to a 6 out of 10 if it was a full album, which is slightly above average.